welcome back! So, do you find that there's a request that was submitted in error on your sheet? Or as a creator, you simply want to route the requests back to the workflow because you made some changes on the flow. Let's say you changed your reviewers, or you changed steps, or someone just simply accidentally deleted the FWIDs from the sheet. No matter what it is, you'll all have to do one thing. You'll have to delete that FWID from the web application. But don't worry, I've got you covered. Hey, it's Hannah from FWIDs.io, and today I'm going to be walking you through So what are FWIDs? So these are unique numbers that are assigned to the request submitted to you on the sheet. And we've intentionally hid them just so we can make sure that no one accidentally deletes it while on the sheet. But you can find it between the last column of your form or whatever columns you've added and the first technical column. So if you notice on this example for Clifford Tech Budget's sheet, it is hidden between my total amount, which is on the J column, and the L column, which is the first technical column. So if I click this arrow right here, it should show me the list of the FWIDs. There you go. So I mentioned earlier that there may be 3 scenarios on when you'll have to delete the formworkflowplus ID from the web application. One is if someone has submitted the request in error. So for this particular example, let's say that entry number 5 has been submitted in error. As a requester, you'll have to prepare 2 things. First is the FWID, which you will find in the history of your requests inside the formworkflowplus web application. Second is, of course, the workflow name. You'll have to give this 2 information to the workflow creator so that they can find it and delete it. Okay? Now for the creator. Now the requester has informed you about the FWID that was submitted in error as well as the workflow name. So 2 ways how to get to the formworkflowplus web application. You can either go to your browser and type app.formworkflowplus.com, or make it easier for your life and just click that hyperlink that says go to web application from your add-on. So here we go. Once you're there, make sure that you're in the Manage Workflows tab so that you can filter the name of the workflow that was given to you. For this example, we're going with Clifford Tech Budgets. So if I go ahead and click that, it will show me all the lists of IDs inside that request. So now all I have to do is filter the FWID that was given by the requester. And there you have it. Just tick that box right there and click the trash bin button on the top right portion here. After clicking that trash bin icon, you will be presented with this warning message. If you take a look at it, it asks you if you want to delete the request ID in the spreadsheet as well. So there are 2 scenarios on when you should tick this box. One is if someone just accidentally created the request or submitted that request, or if you want to reroute your request back to the workflow because you made modifications. The only way you will not tick this box is if you're sure that the FWID has just been accidentally deleted. Okay? So in this particular example, we're ticking the box because clearly this request has been submitted in error. So once I tick that box, all I have to do is click on delete and wait for the confirmation message that says it has been successfully deleted right here on the lower left. So let's go back to the spreadsheet and see if the FWID has already been deleted from the spreadsheet. There you go. Now we see that the FWID has been successfully removed from the worksheet. But now all you have to do is to highlight that row that needs to be deleted, because just removing the elements from the row will not cut it. You have to delete the entire row by right-clicking or highlighting that row first, then right-click to choose Delete Row. Okay? After that, it's done. You've successfully removed that entry in your worksheet. Okay, let's move to the second scenario. Let's say you've edited the reviewer for step number 1 in this particular example. So I'll have to first make sure that the workflow is deactivated because I can't go and set up the workflow if it's active. So now I will be going straight to the edit option under the setup approval and reviewers. And I want to change my step number 1 reviewer to be sent, for the default step to be sent to not absolutely temporary1 at gmail.com anymore, but to hannah@wizzy.io instead. Wizzy.io. Don't forget to press that enter. And then save. So now I have changed the reviewer for step number 1. All I have to do is to go back to the setup and make sure that I save it to activate the workflow. Okay, so now we've successfully changed your reviewer from your add-ons menu. The FWID for row number 5 is still blank, but if you take a look at your web application, you'll see on the not processed area there is one that hasn't been processed. So all you have to do is to click this arrow right here so that it will reprocess that line that does not have the FWID. So just click this one, wait for it to load, and there you go. If you notice, row number 5 now has a new FWID and the status is now pending for approval. Easy, right? Okay, let's move to the last scenario. Let's say someone just accidentally deleted the FWID from your worksheet. In this particular example, let's say the one in row 6 was suddenly gone. So remember that we still need to remove or delete that FWID from the web application because it will still be in the system even if you don't see it from the worksheet. So you just need to go back and look for whoever requested for it and ask for the FWID so that you can locate it from your workflow and delete it from the system. So in this particular example, the one which was removed was this particular FWID. So let's go inside the web application again, and then let's try to locate it and delete it from there. Okay, so we're inside the web application. Now let's filter your workflow to the workflow that has the FWID inside. So this one, we'll just type Clifford Tech Budgets again. And then let's filter the FWID that we've gotten from your requester, which is this one. Tick that box, the trash bin icon, and remember, we don't need to tick this box anymore. So you have to go straight to delete. And it's done. Okay, so now we're back to your worksheet. Let's try to refresh the web application so that it will detect that one of the rows has not yet been processed. There you go. Now you see that there is one line item that has not yet been processed because there is no FWID for that particular row. So all we have to do is to click on that arrow. There you go. Now you have a new FWID assigned for that particular request, and you notice that the status for that particular step was changed from approved to waiting for approval. And there you go. That's how you delete an FWID from your web application, whether you want it permanently or create a new one. So please don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter available for you right there. Go ahead to the description box as well and find us on our website. It's www.formworkflowplus.com. It's right there. Just click on it. And who knows, if you need a demo, you can just click on that link as well so that you can get a chance to speak with us. And please don't forget to continue following us here on YouTube by clicking that subscribe button right there and get notified whenever we have new content available for you. Okay? See you again in the next tutorial. Bye!